arrangements in place for first phase of Lok Sabha polls tomorrow. Over 8 lakh voters to cast their votes for 2 Lok Sabha and 57 assembly seats in Arunachal Pradesh. All measures taken for smooth polling for first phase of Lok Sabha polls in Assam. Security measures tightened in view of Lok Sabha polls in Northeast. And in IPL cricket, Mumbai Indians to lock horns with Kings 11 Punjab at Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai tonight. Good evening and welcome to the Northeast News. This is Monjui and now the news in details. All arrangements are in place for the first phase of Lok Sabha elections on April 11. Voting will be held in 91 constituencies spread over 20 states and union territories in this phase. All parliamentary constituencies in 10 states and union territories will go to polls in the first phase. These are in Andhra Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim, Andaman and Nicobar, Lakshadweep, Telangana and Uttarakhand. Other states where voting will take place in this phase are Assam, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Jammu and Kashmir, Maharashtra, Manipur, Odisha, Tripura, Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal. Simultaneously, voting will also take place for single-phase assembly elections in Andhra Pradesh, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh and 28 of 147 seats in Odisha. Election Commission has notified the schedule of voting hours for the first phase of Lok Sabha elections. According to the Commission, Uttar Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, West Bengal, Andaman and Nicobar Islands and Lakshadweep will see voting between 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Uttarakhand will go to polls from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. in the first phase of polls. Among the northeast states, voting will take place between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. In Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Sikkim and Tripura West. Outer Manipur, Nagaland and Meghalaya will go to polls between 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. In Arunachal Pradesh, the election authorities are all set to conduct the general elections to the Lok Sabha and State Assembly. The state goes to simultaneous polls to 57 out of 60-member Assembly and 2 Lok Sabha seats in the state on April 11. About 8 lakh voters will cast their votes tomorrow. 3 assembly seat results are already been declared as unopposed. Additional CEO Kanki Darang said the total 2,202 polling stations have been made for voters to cast their vote. Among this, 91 polling stations are designated as all-women polling team stations in the state. He said elaborate arrangements have been made for free and fair elections in the state. Darang said at least 696 polling stations have been identified as critical polling stations. He said 45 companies of Central Paramilitary Forces besides State Police Force have been deployed for election duties.
Of this month and subsequently another 12 polling teams were airlifted.
Meanwhile, in Assam, all measures are being taken for conduct of smooth polling for first phase of Lok Sabha elections tomorrow. Polling will be held for 5 seats of Lakhimpur, Tejpur, Koliabor, Dibrugarh and Jorhat. All the 5 seats are expected to see a direct fight between the Congress and the NDA. According to State Election Office sources, armed forces have been deployed to ensure security. Over 75 lakh voters will seal the political fate of 41 candidates, including 2 women at 9,574 polling stations. Polling personnel with EVM and VVPAT machines are reaching the polling stations. Arrangements for webcasting and video recording has been made in selected polling stations. Several polling booths will be manned by only women officials. In Manipur, State Chief Electoral Officer P.K. Singh has said that the Electoral Office is all prepared for the election. He informed that dispersal of polling parties started on Monday. 88 polling parties already left for their respective polling stations as they are required to reach 3 days before poll, he said. The CEO said 256 parties left yesterday from their respective district headquarters as they have to reach their polling stations 2 days before poll. He stated that security personnel numbering up to 90 companies of Central Armed Police Forces, including IRB, have already been inducted. Out of the 1,562 polling stations within 28 assembly segments in the outer constituency, 227 polling stations are in critical category, while 171 are in vulnerable category, he said. Meanwhile, as security measures for the Lok Sabha elections on April 11 for Manipur Outer Constituency, Tengnaupal District Magistrate enforced Section 144 in border areas and sealed off Indo-Myanmar Friendship Bridge and Gate number 1 and 2. The prohibition under Section 144 will be enforced only in areas 500 meters from the border. The prohibition enforced will end at 9 p.m. of April 11, said the order. 43 Assam Rifles is on strict whistle in the border town of Moreh. The poll preparedness in Meghalaya for the upcoming Lok Sabha elections for Shillong and two Tura parliamentary constituencies as well as by-poll to Silsila sit is in full swing as polling personnel left for their respective polling stations despite all odds. It may be mentioned that there are as many as 6 candidates in fray for the Shillong, while Tura sit is heading for a three-cornered battle. In addition, there are 4 candidates in the fray for Silsila by-poll. Along with the rest of the country, Nagaland is also all set to go to polls tomorrow. Electronic voting machine EVMs were dispatched today to all the polling parties to their respective polling station. Electronic voting machines and printers for printing paper trail, vote verifiable paper audit trail were handed to the polling personnel. 2,227 polling stations, 5,335 vehicles were used for the entire polls. Under Kohima district, a total number of 226 polling parties have been dispatched for the conduct of 2019 Lok Sabha election. A total of 1,42,842 voters will be casting their votes in different polling stations under the district. Out of 226 polling stations, 26 polling stations will be manned by all women polling parties. In Tripura, election preparations for the West Tripura Lok Sabha seat have been made foolproof with special arrangements for security and electors' convenience, keeping in mind, said Chief Electoral Officer Sriram Taranikanta. Addressing a press conference on Tuesday at Agartala, the CEO said all the polling stations will have either webcasting facilities or web cameras. The sector officers have been asked to monitor the election process periodically. Keeping in mind the inclement weather, the election department has also ensured adequate arrangements, and there will be 30 polling stations in West Tripura sit, which will be managed by women, he said. Giving details about the postal ballot voting, the CEO said a total of 3,030 postal ballots have been cast so far for West Tripura sit. Meanwhile, Tripura Director General of Police Akhil Kumar Shukla today informed that adequate security forces have been deployed for ensuring free and fair Lok Sabha election. Addressing a news conference in Agartala, DGP Shukla said that tight security arrangement was made in West Tripura constituency where the poll will be held tomorrow. He said they have deployed central paramilitary forces and 166 police mobile service in 125 sensitive cluster polling areas in West Tripura constituency. It may be mentioned that in West Tripura parliamentary constituency, 13 candidates are contesting for this election. Main parties are BJP, Congress, CPIM and TMC, and number of polling centers are 1,679. In Assam, the Lok Jagaran Mancha organized a polling awareness program where an artist conference was held in Guwahati on Wednesday. Padma Shri awardee Prabhat Sharma expressed his views over the casting of vote, which is the right of the Indian citizen and must exercise his right. Theatre artist Mridul Soikya in his speech said that this time one must cast their valuable vote as a responsible citizen to make the country a better place to live in. Various eminent artists like Jatin Bora, Jitul Sonwal, Pranjal Sarkia, Mridula Bora and others were also present. In IPL cricket, Mumbai Indians will lock horns with Kings 11 Punjab at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai tonight. Having won their 3 games at home, Kings 11 Punjab will now head to the iconic Wankhede Stadium to take on Mumbai Indians in what is expected to be an interesting clash in the IPL. The Assam State BJP today criticized the Congress party for their 14 years of misrule of the state. Addressing media persons in Guwahati today, state spokesperson Rupa Prasad Bosha said that the NDA government at the centre has taken up a number of development schemes for the state. He claimed that the BJP will be able to capture all the Lok Sabha seats in the state in the ensuing elections. In Manipur, Regional Institute of Medical Sciences, RIMS, has been placed at the 28th position in the national ranking of the country's medical institutions. Speaking to media persons in Imphal on Tuesday, RIMS Director Professor A. Santa said the Ministry of Human Resource Development declared results of the National Institution Ranking Framework on April 3 and RIMS was placed in the 28th position. Out of the 30 best medical institutions of Eastern India, RIMS was placed in the first position, which means RIMS has surpassed Kolkata Medical College, Guwahati Medical College and Assam Medical College. Moreover, RIMS has been placed above all AIIMS of different cities except AIIMS Delhi. Veteran left leader and former member of parliament Rupert Borgohain died this morning at Dibrugarh. He was 78. The body of Borgohain was brought to Sibsagar CPI office where a large number of people paid their last respect to the departed leader. Assam Governor Professor Jagdish Mukhi, Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal and several other leaders condoled the sad demise of Borgohain. In Guwahati CPI office, several party leaders paid tributes by offering flowers at the portrait of the departed leader and the party flag was flown at half-mast. Meanwhile, the last rites of the departed leader will be performed with full state honors where State Power Minister Tapan Gogoi will be present. And that brings us to the end of this evening's bulletin. Thank you for tuning in. Namaskar.